Good morning, Tottenham fans. Finally, something happy to talk about, something positive to talk about. Tottenham are through to the last 16 of the Europa League. No need for a playoff games that we really did not need. Really good performance. Not very clinical in the first half, but the happiness from the Tottenham fans and probably from everyone at home to see the maiden Tottenham boys all get their goals and the smiles on the face, the importance it was to them, how important it was to them. It was just really good to see. It put a smile on my face anyway. It was something that we all needed. We've all been feeling so down and glum about our team, and yesterday just gave us that little bit of a smile. And I was actually cheering the goals as well, like because of who scored. And yeah, it was just a really good day yesterday. I've got a few positives I want to talk about today. There's quite a few positives actually, and I want to talk about later on that Tottenham have had a bid accepted for a forward player as well, which is very positive in my opinion. And yeah, I just want to talk about the goals, the young lads. I want to talk about some injuries returning. There's quite a few positives. So at last, we can talk positively, only for this video maybe, and then see what happens against Brentford. But we'll see. So let's start off with it was 0-0 at half time. Fans were getting a bit worried. The fans in the stadium were very quiet, to be honest. Maybe there was a little bit apprehensive that we might not get through or we might not win. But normally in a game like this, you start off with your youngsters and you bring on your experienced players and win the day. That we didn't have that choice. We had the youngsters on the bench, and it was the opposite way around, which was really refreshing to see. So Dane Scarlett comes on for Richarlison, and oh no, he came on because Dragushin got injured. I'll get back to that in a bit. But he gets his chance. And I think he was only on the pitch for like 4 minutes, and a brilliant Kulusevski cross. And Dane Scarlett gets on the end of it with a bullet header and slides on his knees to the Tottenham fans. It must have been a brilliant moment for him. I think that was his first goal for Spurs. European night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I can't imagine how he felt. He was so happy. He was buzzing, and then he ended up getting an assist not long after that, probably about 10 minutes after that. And yeah, he just made a massive impact, and he showed Richie how to do it. And he's only 20 years old. He's been gone out on loan. So, his last loan was at Oxford. Only 10 days ago he was at Oxford, and he's come back European night when we needed him. He's come up and he's scored. Really happy for him. I was proper celebrating when he scored. Hopefully he can kick on from this. Hopefully he can. Next goal came in, and it was a J. I wasn't even sure who he was when he was coming on, and I have to be honest, I was like, who's that again? And then when they said the name, I recognized the name, obviously. I was like, okay, let's see what he can do. And he comes on, and again, I think it was after 4 or 5 minutes, starts running at the Elfsborg defence, gets past 2 or 3 players in one go, does a 1-2 with Dane Scarlett, and that was Dane Scarlett's assist. 1-2 with Dane Scarlett, and then booms it into the bottom corner, and his face lit up, and the whole stadium erupted. They were so happy for him, and I was celebrating and cheering because, it's another one that was made in Tottenham that came in and done the business. He said after the game that his mum said, if you ever get opportunities, you need to take them. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's very determined. He said he wants to kick on from here. He wants to keep taking his chances. So, another, young guy coming through with a good mentality. Future's looking very good at the minute. And third goal, we all thought this would happen sooner, but Mikey Moore has got a goal for Spurs. And I think now he's got 2 assists and a goal, and he's hardly played this season. He's only played a few Europa League games, and a couple of coming on against in the Premier League, 1 start in the Premier League. So he's starting to make impacts. He could have had a hat-trick, actually, Mikey Moore. In the first half, he had a chance. He had a chance just after Ajayi scored as well, and he almost scored then, but then he got the goal. He managed to get the ball about 40 yards from goal, out-muscled the the midfielder, gets around him, turns inside to another couple of defenders. They can't get anywhere near him, and then he right foots it into the bottom corner. Keeper had no chance, and the delight on his face. 17-year-old Mikey Moore scoring on a European night. He is something different. He wasn't like amazing on the night, but you could just see his quality. He was always direct. He's always trying to get that killer pass. He's always running at players. Even if he isn't successful at getting past a player, he will try again. He's very brave on the ball, and sometimes that's what you need. And I think we had a front three of Scarlett, Ajayi, and Moore up front towards the end. And they showed us how it was done. They really, really lit up the Tottenham Stadium, and I couldn't be happier, to be honest. I couldn't be happier, and I was so glad that I could speak positively about Spurs for once. I've been very doom and gloom for the last few weeks, and rightly so, because we've had nothing to cheer about, really. I was quite happy after the Hoffenheim game because I knew how important that was to win. But yeah, very, very good. Sonny as well looked. It might have been the opposition, but Sonny looked sharp as anything. Like before, I thought he was knackered, but he ends up with, by the way, he got 10 successful dribbles out of 11 attempted, which is a Europa League record. That right back got rinsed time and time again. And by the way, he did that in one half. That's a Europa League record, 10 successful dribbles. He was rinsing that player. He looked so skillful, sharp. He looked on it yesterday, and I can't believe he didn't get an assist out of all of that. But he looked coming close to back to his best when he was playing yesterday. It might have been the opposition, so don't get me wrong, but he looked very, very good. Richie looked a little bit sharper, so that's a bit more positive. He ended up getting subbed off, but he's got a bit of a rest, and he didn't get injured, hopefully, unless the news comes out that he got injured having a sandwich or something. Brandon Austin got himself a clean sheet. I don't think he had anything to do, literally just passing out from the back. I don't think he did any saves at all, but he gets a clean sheet in a Europa League match, which is good for his CV. Then we've got Bentancur, Sonny, Kulu, and Van der Ven all got rests. Bentancur come off at halftime, Sonny come off at halftime, Kulu come on at halftime. Van der Ven got a rest at halftime. So we're starting to be able to rest players, which was good. We need them for Brentford, but we need them even more for the Liverpool game next week. One negative that I can just speak about is Radu Dragushin. Really weird situation. He tried to clear the ball, hardly touched the ball, flicked his leg, came back on his knee, and then injured his knee. Can we just have a game, please, where we don't injure players? We always get an injury in every single blooming game. It's crazy. It was a very weird injury. There's no one near him. He just landed funny. So I'm hoping he doesn't, be injured for 5-6 weeks like all the other injuries we keep getting. One more positive, we might as well end on a positive. Bayern Munich have accepted a bid for Matthias Tell, a very, very talented forward for Bayern Munich. He's only 19 years old. He's fast, skillful, strong, and knows where the goal is. The only reason why he's not getting in the Bayern team is because of Harry Kane. So maybe Harry Kane is doing us a favour, and we're going to get a very, very talented player. It's only been a bid accepted. Now, obviously, we've got to see what the player wants. I think he's weighing out all his options. So Man United might be coming in for him. Arsenal might be coming in for him. Chelsea are looking in for him as well. He wants first team football. He wants to be able to play week in, week out. He's not going to get that at Chelsea. I don't think Man United can afford him because I think Spurs have offered 60 mil. And Arsenal may go to Arsenal. That'd be the sickener if he does, because Arsenal need a forward player, and he probably would get game time there too. He's that good. So let's fingers crossed for that. And if we can get that forward player in, then all of a sudden we've got, better attacking options. Defenders are coming back now. Midfielders are being able to be rotated. And goalkeepers can be rotated. So it's starting to come together. We still need, if we do sign Matthias Tell, we still need, in my opinion, a left back and maybe a midfielder. But I think we're signing them for the summer. But we'll see. We still need signings. We still need to get our players back. But hopefully this can be a turning point. We say this every time we win and it doesn't happen. But please, let this be the turning point. Let this be something that we can, build upon. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comments, and come on, you Spurs.